What's up, my brothers and my sisters from another mister? Spawn, King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and The Scorched are all characters from the Spawn universe, a fictional universe created by Todd McFarlane centered around Spawn. Today we're going to go into how these comics are connected together, but first let's go into the character / comic short description so we can analyze how they connect together. So here we have Spawn. Spawn is a supernatural being who was once a human named Al Simmons. He was a highly skilled and successful government assassin. After being betrayed by his superiors and killed, he was resurrected by Malboja, a powerful demon lord, and transformed into a Hellspawn, a soldier in the armies of hell. As a Hellspawn, Spawn is given immense powers including superhuman strength, agility, and the ability to control fire and the elements. Let's not forget that necroplasm, man. He is also able to shapeshift, teleport, and regenerate from injuries. Spawn is the main character of the series and is a supernatural being who is resurrected as a Hellspawn. As the story evolves and with his greatest enemy gone, Malboja, Spawn is tempted to become the ruler of hell by the demon Mammon. He declines it because he wants to do his own thing. Lots of events take place where others try to take the throne and go after Spawn in the process. Now that is a lengthy explanation, but I will leave the playlist in the description that you guys can check out and binge watch. I don't mind, and I'm not stingy. But the Spawn storyline and others we will touch on all share importance with one another. Now let's get into the King Spawn comics. To me, Spawn comics are the New York strip, and King Spawn is the ribeye. For those that know me, ribeyes are my favorite. King Spawn does not depict Spawn as a literal king, so if you think you're going to pick up the first issue and all of a sudden there's going to be Spawn sitting on the throne with the thing or whatever around his head 20, 30 years or something down the future, no. King Spawn is a new ongoing Spawn series. King Spawn is a version of Spawn that appears in the future timeline in which he has become more of a leader in the way, maybe even a tyrant. You'll have to check out the series and make the decision for yourself, but it is very well worth a look. He's definitely more regal and brutal as well. Despite this, King Spawn is haunted by his past and the memories of the person he once was. He is also pursued by a group of rebels who seek to overthrow him and restore justice to the world. Those rebels also try to get Spawn to do what he vows not to do: take the throne and open up the dead zones. Let's just say each issue he gets more tempted, and man, oh man, it's a treat. If you're liking the content so far, you know what to do. Don't be shy and don't be stingy. Like the video and subscribe to Rated Comics YouTube channel. Here at Rated Comics we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaways. King Spawn is one of my favorite Spawn issues to read next to Gunslinger Spawn. Speaking of which, Gunslinger Spawn is a version of Spawn that appears in the alternate timeline in which he is a gunslinger in the old Wild West. He is a man at a time who was unwillingly thrust 200 years into the future to the 21st century. See the events of Spawn issue 300 and 301, which we did cover in this channel. Check out the playlist for each series in the description below. Not only does he have to navigate a new world, but he'll have to deal with the demons of his past and go on a path of revenge. No one is safe from his vengeance as he heads into battle with guns blazing as he tries to find his way back home. Gunslinger Spawn is a more traditional version of the character Spawn, and his appearance in the Spawn series is an homage to the classic Western stories. Gunslinger Spawn operates in the same timeline in relation to Spawn. His origins took place in Spawn issue 174 and 175, which we did cover, but I'll put the link in the description. He appears again in Spawn issue 308. Gunslinger Spawn issue number 1 storyline takes place after the events of Spawn's universe, but before the Scorched. And speaking of the Scorched is a team of Hellspawns protecting the world from supernatural threats. The team consists of Spawn, Jessica Priest, aka She-Spawn, Mark Rosen, aka Medieval Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, Redeemer, and Eddie Frank, the Reaper. While these characters are connected through their tie-in to the Spawn universe, they each have their own unique stories and storylines within the series. All these characters were introduced in the original Spawn comics, so to dive further into their mythology and expanding on their stories will take away from Spawn being the solo act in the Spawn series. But to create a scenario where these characters interact with one another while dealing with a threat that no single Hellspawn can defeat on their own, that is ambitious storytelling in my opinion. Since this is the first time Hellspawns have teamed up, everybody doesn't have to like each other or dislike each other, which gives it another element to enjoy. Now that we established the 4 Spawn comics that take place in the comic universe, after reading and reviewing all 4 series, playlist is in the description for each each series if you wish to get into them. Trust me, you'll thank me later in my opinion. It's not like they connect to each other in one hard timeline or hard continuity or anything like that. I believe that was done purposely. As I've been reading and reviewing these issues, they have been getting closer and closer to an organic timeline. The Scorched and King Spawn series operate in the same timeline in relation to Spawn. Gunslinger Spawn issue number 1 happens pre-Scorched and after the events of Spawn's universe. As you read the Scorched and Spawn series, they'll reference events of King Spawn. I can't pin a hard continuity to it, but I believe it's because the writers are ironing out and working out the details as organically as possible as the story moves forward. But what you guys think of the video, comment below, let me know. And also don't forget to check out RatedComics.com to add some comics to your comic book collection and or some really cool Rated Comics exclusives as well. Treat yourself to some Spawn content. Last but not least, this video is sponsored by coffee. So if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description, or donate to the super thanks. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.